thing Liam McGeary does not want to do is give up on his footwork. He always wants to be angling. He doesn't want to stand in front of the wrestler and give him an easy target for that takedown.
Yeah, Liam came out with a kick right off the bat. That's a great way to create space. You know, if you can't touch a guy, he's too far away. Phil Davis cannot use any wrestling right now. The first rule in wrestling, you must stick your hand out straight. If it doesn't touch your opponent, he's too far away. Phil's going to need to figure out this distance and step in a little bit before he's going to get any action going.
Chael Sonnen joining us here for this main event. It's been 535 days for Liam McGeary. A lot of potential for cage rush. Remember, that fight was just a 4-minute fight that he had.
I think it's easy to forget when you look at him. For his build, Liam McGeary is 6'6", but fast, athletic, quick. He's not an awkward, gangly kind of guy. He's fast.
Yeah, absolutely. Phil Davis is known for that rear power kick. I will remind everybody, Liam McGeary just had a knee injury. I don't actually know which knee it was, but Phil is attacking the lead knee. If Phil wants to turn this again into any kind of a grappling contest, he is going to have to take a 6-inch step forward. He's just simply out of range right here.
Now, my question for you, Chael, is does he have to get Liam McGeary to bite, to think he's going to actually strike with him before that takedown will work?
Yes, that's what he did. So that's what Phil Davis did so well in the King Mo bout, is he mixed in punches. When Mo started to defend the punches, he changed elevation and went for the tackle. Right here, he is too far out. I trust that Phil knows that. He's made a couple of shot attempts. They were a little bit half-hearted. McGeary had no problem stopping them, but I don't believe that Phil is quite mixing it up the way he intends to.
Remember, Phil Davis had a slow start against King Mo. That's the best shot in the first round. Wow. Phil Davis, the left that landed.
McGeary's trying to clinch it up. That hurt him.
Not bad either. Not a bad takedown attempt by McGeary.
That's a bad sign when the striker goes in for a takedown against the wrestler. I think that hurt him.
And it gets to the ground.
Now, Jimmy, that's what you were talking about earlier. McGeary conceded that takedown without making the wrestler and Phil Davis burn up energy. He's got to do what we call earn the takedown.
Right into full mount. Worst place you could be against Phil Davis.
Phil Davis just landed into full mount. He didn't even have to advance. Remember where Liam McGeary was against Tito Ortiz. He was in this exact same spot against the fence.
The guys, in a normal contest, if you're in Phil Davis's position, you're out of the woods, you're a little bit safe. Not against McGeary. This is a similar position that he finished a couple of opponents, including his last one in Tito Ortiz. You are not safe in side control with this gentleman because of the length of his legs.
Phil Davis knows it.
And what Phil's doing, he's not playing jiu-jitsu. It's a wrestling ride. Going to the cinch now. Trying to keep it in the wrestling wheelhouse. Now right here, not trying to put hooks in, not going for anything, trying to ride him down, take some energy out of him.
That's why we talked about the Magalesh fight, because that's what he did. He stayed safe on the ground.
But Magalesh, much more traditional jiu-jitsu.
The first thing Liam's going to need to do before he can even start to defend himself, guys, is get that wrist back. Phil Davis, that's an old Penn State college wrestling technique. But he's going to have to get it free now. He's got it back, but Phil Davis on top, swinging away. Oh, beautiful transition.
Liam rolls out and avoided a potentially massive left hand from Phil Davis.
I tell you, these kicks by Phil are a little bit sloppy, but they are landing. It really doesn't matter if the technique's perfect if it keeps touching its target.
And now, the McGeary's in a situation where he respects now the power of Phil Davis. Phil hurt him with that left hook, for sure.
And he knows he's got work to do if he's going to steal this first round back.
I think this is a kind of get out of the round situation. He's been hurt, he was on the ground, and he's a great finisher. You might want to go, hey, I'm just trying to stay off the ground for this next 40 seconds. 4 more rounds to go.
He's been going forward here pretty hard ever since he got back to his feet.
He wants some get back. He got hurt, he wants to hurt him back, but that could be a deadly trap.
Now there's better defense. Liam sinks his hips, he uses the cage, he digs what we call an underhook. He's making Phil work here, and that stuffs it. The story of this round, guys, even bigger than the takedown perhaps, could have been the leg kicks of Phil Davis. They really found their mark.
Pound, all that left hook.
Round 1, gentlemen, to Phil Davis.
10-9 Phil, that's what I saw.
Definitely.
The takedown. The takedown was the story of fighting. He went right into good position with the mount. But Liam is marching forward, and that can be a very frustrating thing for any fighter. Phil's dealing with it well, but he's still not finding his range if he wants to make this a grappling contest, which is his strength.
Stop. Careful with the shots. Get him up. Get him up. Nope.
Preemptive from John McCarthy.
Anytime as a fighter, when you think you have a serious advantage, a particular position, man, I'm the better kickboxer, I'm the better wrestler, I have better jiu-jitsu, it can be disheartening when you're shown, oh my God, this guy has skills too. I thought Liam McGeary thought, well, I've got the definite advantage on the feet. That punch kind of turned the fight around, at least that round around for sure.
I think it really surprised him. That mixed in with Phil Davis putting in these kicks. And they're really finding them. I'll tell you, from a technical standpoint, I got a couple of problems with those kicks, but boy, they are landing every time. He's not throwing an air ball yet.
What's your problem with kicks?
He's not turning his hips. He's not stepping offline. His hands are in a little bit of the wrong position, which takes the power away. That said, nothing trumps the kick landing.
They're slappy kicks, but they're finding the mark.
Meanwhile, ladies and gentlemen, takedown defense from Liam McGeary.
Much better than we anticipated. Part of that, like you said, Joe, is the range. He's shooting from a little further outside than he would like. Liam McGeary can see it coming a little better than I thought. That, you know, if these were closer takedowns, we might not be able to see him coming.
Yeah, that's right. The reach of Liam is causing Phil a little bit of a problem. That's why he's using his legs instead of his hands. They're just not quite finding their mark. Until he can land solid punches, he can't change elevation and go for the tackle like he did in the King Mo fight.
So a lot of people thought he lost. Those first two rounds were very close. Easily could have gone to King Mo. Big third round for Phil Davis.
Knee kick, beautiful.
Liam not conceding the position this time. Liam looking to get that leg and knee in there, keep the space, and eventually he's going to use that fence to walk his back up it. Phil looking to pass.
Where Phil Davis has won so many fights, just grinding it out. Now here's Liam McGeary trying to use those long legs.
Could go on the right for a leg lock if he could get the weight off of that leg, but Phil Davis put a lot of pressure on him. Right in
Great step over.
Right through the legs.
Phil Davis, remember, loves that Kimura.
That's where those long arms help him out. He's able to get it from a lot of positions you wouldn't expect. Now you see that leg he's keeping across the legs of Liam McGeary. That's to prevent that triangle step over that he got Kelly Anderson with. That was from side control, but if he can block the legs, he doesn't have to worry about it now in the mount.
Looking for an arm triangle. I don't know how much jeopardy Liam is in of Phil submitting him here, but he's getting led. If this is a dance, guys, only one person can lead at a time. If Phil is the one doing the offense, whether it's good technique that's going to be effective or not, the opponent must respond. And if Liam is on the response, he's not on the attack.
He's banking minutes, he's banking rounds.
Can you be, if you're Liam McGeary, too comfortable?
Yeah, completely. That was one of the problems leading into this fight. He talked about his guard and who's going to catch him. He's very comfortable in the back. I've seen a lot of fighters lose rounds and lose fights that way, relying on their guard. And I tell guys a lot of times, when the other guy's on top, he's probably winning in the eyes of the judges. But Phil, he's been in full mount. He's had dominant positions. It hasn't been a toss-up.
Completely dominant, and Liam is just not going to be able to get going here as long as Phil stays aggressive. Now, if Phil starts eating up clock, we can see a different story. But this is a very effective ground round for Phil Davis.
He isn't committing to any one submission, but he's always threatening with his submission. That's what's keeping Liam McGeary on the defensive.
Now, Phil's going to want to push that arm to the ground. And here's what you were just talking about.
Yep, into that leg lock, able to relieve the pressure.
He's done it twice, once in each round, but he gave up a lot of time on the ground to Phil Davis in each round.
Tremendous explosion. I'm a little confused why Liam isn't more tired, more exhausted. I mean, he's bouncing up to his feet, and now he's the one charging forward.
Through two. 2-0 Phil Davis right now?
2-0 Phil Davis at both 10-9.
2-0 Phil Davis, but we got a champion in Liam McGeary who is coming forward, pushing the pace. He needs to keep this distance. He did a really good job of it in the first round. He needs to keep this space. Phil cannot touch him and cannot get to the grappling component from this range. A couple more kicks up the middle for Liam, lead with that jab.
When you talk to Phil about this fight, he talks about his wrestling experience. I mentally break guys. I wear them down. They don't want me more. That hasn't happened yet with Liam McGeary. I have him ahead, but Liam McGeary is still mentally in the fight.
Surprisingly, Jimmy, particularly when you look at the positions that Phil was able to get him in. Full mount, dropping elbows, looking for submissions, but all of a sudden Liam springs back up to his feet and he's ready to fight. He's newly energized. He should be exhausted from those positions, gentlemen.
Yep. Liam in midair went for something, too, on the way to the ground, so he's always thinking.
Very tricky. Now going for the leg lock again. Got to get that weight off the leg. That's the key. Phil desperate to keep the pressure on that left leg, and so far he's doing it. Right into mount. You have to make a fighter work harder than that to pass your guard.
He hasn't made him work in each round. He has conceded that.
It's the jiu-jitsu version of an easy takedown. You can't let a guy just easily pass your guard.
It is stunning how easily he lets him go for that. It's as though he has a technique from this position, but as we've learned from rounds 1 and 2, he does not. He's just simply losing this position. Now, right here, Phil Davis is starting to trap this arm. He wants to get the arm down to the mat and pull to the side, and he goes to the opposite side for an arm triangle.
He's threatening but not committing.
That's correct.
That's been the story of him on the ground so far.
His offense is keeping Liam McGeary on defense.
Exactly.
Phil Davis, again, is going to step out of full mount, or at least try to trap those legs, and that's what's giving Liam McGeary a chance to escape. And he's got his mindset on that arm.
That's to keep him from turning and making this a scramble. That's what he's doing there.
Boy, McGeary is all legs at times, isn't he? These legs are coming from all over the place. Phil pins him back down. This would be a good opportunity to go to mount, and he does.
Easy. Easy.
We talked over and over again about Liam McGeary conceding takedowns. Little did we know he'd be conceding full mount over and over and over again.
That I find surprising. I thought we'd see a little more closed guard work from Liam McGeary. Open guard, but man, Phil's just stepping right over it. It's not even there.
Phil is just locked in on those wrists, and Liam has to clear the wrist before he can move. It's just a really great offense here by Phil Davis.
Liam thinks he can hit the home run, but in the process of looking for that pitch, he's giving the rounds away.
Exactly. He's giving up singles over and over and over again. You can lose a game that way pretty easily.
Push there, don't tap.
This is better than trying to pump with 2 strikes.
Now give them a pass. They won the game. Come on. You're so negative. You're so negative.
108 years, but it feels like it's been that long since Liam McGeary's been in there. He swore to us, cage rush not an issue. He's had long layoffs before. He's never had a long layoff and then walked into a fighter of this caliber.
Now, it's like I said before, I think he thought he'd have his way when it came to the submission game. He's not. Phil Davis is more prepared than he realized.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And Liam not only giving up the takedown, but he's giving up the position. I think that's the part that surprises us. I think we all knew that Phil had the potential, like a stereotypic wrestler, to ground and pound, but to dominate position and look for submission. I got to tell you, as an athlete in this weight class, more than being an analyst, as an athlete in this weight class, this is a problem to deal with. Phil Davis's style here is a big problem for any 205-pounder.
Back to the wrestling ride, and he rolls for the knee bar, but not able to get the weight off the legs. Phil knows when to move and when to put pressure on his base. He has that mastered, and right now, Liam McGeary hasn't found his own offense on the ground. He can heel kick, he can't heel kick the head.
He went right for the shoulder. You know, that's a risky game. I don't think I've seen a guy do that before.
If you're off a couple inches, you can lose a point real easily.
Liam McGeary, who spent the entire fight looking for the home run shot in the final 2 rounds, is going to need a home run shot. Wrestling wanted to quit the first week. It was his mother who made him stick to it. And look how it's paid off. A national championship, and now perhaps just 2 rounds away from a world championship. 3-0, gentlemen.
I have it 3-0. The only question is that last round could have been a 10-8. It was that dominant. I didn't see that fight-ending moment that, you know, makes me say 10-8, but it certainly could be.
That's exactly right. Ray Charles could see this is all Phil Davis thus far.
Another left hook. Now the problem is you can be a great finisher, but it sucks to have to finish, and Liam McGeary's getting in that I have to finish mode.
Yeah, that's right. I'm not sure what Liam's going to change up here. He's got to stop the takedown. If he wants to do that, he needs to stay real busy with the jab, even that front kick that's coming up the middle, and try to get this on his feet. Look, I think we've seen thus far that he's not going to get it done on the ground. I think we've just got to start going to plan B, which is perhaps to look for the knockout.
The rub at this point, the contradiction, is that to get the knockout, he's got to be more aggressive. He has to walk forward and walk into the takedown, perhaps, to Phil Davis. He can't afford, I think, to hang back and use the jab. Phil Davis could eat 2 rounds and win this fight, so he has to step forward. He has to take risks. He has to be aggressive. That leads to the takedown of Phil Davis. That's a problem he has to solve.
That is the tough part about strategy. At this point, all Phil Davis has to beat is the clock. Liam McGeary has got to beat Phil Davis.
Finish.
Finish.
Having great rounds isn't good enough right now.
And as we talk about over and over again with undefeated fighters, what do you do the first time that everything that has worked for you your entire life is no longer working?
Liam McGeary just had a pretty good knee to the body. Phil's pushed through that, but I could see that landing. He's looking for a reversal. Looked like he had some momentum there, but the hips are so heavy of a national champion wrestler like Phil Davis.
He knows when to move. He knows when to put pressure down.
I tell you, there is no closed guard by Liam McGeary. There's no resting. There's no conceding. He is trying to win this fight. He's just not finding opportunities.
Looking for a triangle, can't get it.
Now a lot more sweat. We're late in the fight.
It doesn't get easier.
Harder.
Yeah.
And I think we're seeing a little bit what Dominic Cruz had told me before the fight, that we've got a guy who knows how to operate on the ground. And to the point you made earlier, Phil is constantly threatening. He's not necessarily looking to finish him, but he's threatening you and making you respond. And all the while, a second ticks off the clock. And that's all he's got to beat at this point.
And it hasn't cut now. As if Liam McGeary didn't have enough problems.
We're not seeing a lot of shrimping from Liam McGeary. Typically, a bottom man caught him out would look to put both hands on a hip, shrimp to one side, push him off. Phil is keeping him so occupied that he just hasn't been able to get any offense going.
And Liam McGeary's escapes tend to be kind of a scrambling sort of jiu-jitsu. He doesn't do the fundamental shrimp you're talking about. He doesn't oopa and move and do all these things. It's almost like he has small man jiu-jitsu. He's always trying to grab something and roll out, and Phil hasn't allowed that. It's uncovering the fact that there are fundamental things that Liam McGeary isn't used to having to do.
That's right. And Liam McGeary, look, he is being dominated in the last 10 minutes of this fight, gentlemen, but he has not conceded.
No, not
Liam McGeary is still out here battling. He's just caught in a position that he's losing. He's losing this position, and Phil Davis, to his credit, continually puts him back in the same position. Very smart. They will always tell you in a fight, if something works in a fight, just keep doing it. With the theory being your opponent cannot correct it on the fly. And Phil Davis is a great example of that right here tonight.
And so is Liam in his inability to correct it.
And what do I always say? If I talk about your heart and your guts, there's a problem. We're talking about the heart and guts and resilience of Liam McGeary. So he's getting owned in there.
We knew this fight would take place largely on the ground. The question was, could Phil Davis keep himself safe? And he has brilliantly for 4 full rounds.
Yeah, Mount's pretty safe. Side control, he's pretty safe.
He has been there 95% of the time this fight's been on the ground.
And still, Phil is still threatening. Now here's a great position. Phil was in a contest with Brian Stan and had a very similar position. Traps ahead with his legs, puts both his hands on one arm of his opponent.
He's going for it. Finally committing. And out goes Liam McGeary. That's why he hasn't been committing. He didn't want to give up position. Tried it then with just a few seconds left in the round.
That's a puzzle he can't solve.
Phil Davis has fought a brilliant fight. He is way ahead, closing in on a world title. But Chael Sonnen, that doesn't mean it's necessarily going to happen for you.
Listen, it's real simple, guys. He needs to dance with the one that brought him. He needs to close that distance, drag Liam down again, look for that mount, start attacking submissions, eat up that clock, and go home. And I've seen plenty of athletes, and I can tell you from personal experience, if you get away from that, you can learn. One round can change everything.
Against a submission ace on the ground. And Liam McGeary.
Went hard for the Kimura, but couldn't get it. My scorecard, it's 4 rounds to none. All of them 10-9. The only question is, last couple of rounds could have gone 10-8, but it's a wipeout for Phil Davis.
Oh, wow. Liam went for it there.
For a second.
He had the head. He wasn't under the chin. It was hard for us to see when he started to pull guard. I trusted he was under the chin. But here we are, deja vu. Rounds 1 through 4 all over again. Phil Davis inside mount. And just annoying. He's just annoying, Liam, is what he's doing. He's just keeping him busy. He's occupying his mind, shutting his offense down. Now, this is the closest he's had to this arm triangle. Phil's looked for that a couple times, but he never got his ear to the far side. He's got it now, guys.
He doesn't want to overcommit moves position. You saw him there, weigh the options, and stay with full mount. Smart move.
Yep, he has made his decision that he is going to go to a decision.
Exactly.
I really like what Phil's doing with this knee. He'll keep his knee on nice and heavy. He'll bring it over to mount sometimes. He'll go back and just put the knee on the belly. That really does shut Liam down.
He has been so well prepared for this night.
Look at that shin right across the arm. He's just annoying him. He's constantly distracting him, giving Liam something to think about that takes away from his own offense. It's a very, very effective plan. I'm just surprised that he's been disciplined enough to stick with it for going on 23 minutes.
I'm going to respectfully disagree. Running out of hot water in a shower, that's annoying. This is hell. Phil Davis, as long as he's been underneath Phil Davis, that is pure misery.
I will concede to your metaphor. Absolutely, Jimmy. But look at this. Look, he just keeps bugging him.
Yeah.
He's not really doing it, but boy, he's bugging him. And now he's reaching under the head, grabbing the far armpit. It's just bothering him.
What's really going to bother him is in 2 minutes when he puts his belt around his waist.
Yep.
Desperation time for Liam McGeary.
And Phil steps back over to full mount again.
He's just camped right there on the chest of Liam McGeary throughout this fight.
He needs to keep this wrist as long as he can.
The long journey of the 32-year-old from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, Phil Davis, is 90 seconds away from the top of the mountain. And he has been king of the mountain all night in that spot. Liam is exhausted.
He's been carrying his own weight for 25 minutes. He's been carrying the weight of his opponent for 25 minutes. It's just not gone his way at all. Phil Davis has made this dominant.
Go back, and Liam McGeary will watch these 25 minutes, and you wonder how many openings were there? How many true openings did Phil Davis even give him?
From a jiu-jitsu perspective, not a lot. Not a lot. He tried to capitalize as much as he could have, but Phil Davis was excellent with the pressure, excellent with the pass. That's something he can say is that I didn't let a lot of finishing opportunities go by.
And there he comes right back up with this heavy knee, this shin that just pins Liam down. effective enough to stop, and then he goes right back into the mount.
For 25 minutes, Phil Davis paints the corners, pitches a perfect game, and is about to become the world champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance, we'll go to your 3 cage-side judges. Your first judge, Eric Colon, scores the fight 50-43. Judge Sue Sanidad scores the fight 50-45. Your third and final judge, Brian Miner, scores the fight 50-44. All see it for the winner by unanimous decision. And now the new Bellator Light Heavyweight World Champion, Phil, Mr. Wonderful